All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebonie, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we are going to be speaking to Miss Nayomie. Nayomie, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. You guys, she is going to share some lovely messages with you, and I really appreciate her taking time because today's a busy day for her. So for those of you that stick around to the end, for the incentive of listening to what she wants to share with you, you will get a complimentary gift. Nayomie, start us off just by telling us a motivational quote that really inspires you, something that really gets you going and motivates you.
So it would be Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
Awesome. I love that. So how has that helped you in your life?
Well, it starts by saying, do not fear, I am with you. And I feel like it's very comforting because day by day we face different trials, and it just starts by saying, do not fear, I am with you. Do not be dismayed. It's such a raw verse, and it's very comforting, and it ends off by saying, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So yeah.
That's beautiful. What about those times where we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel? So those situations, like you're like, well, are you really with me? We don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're experiencing so many challenges and so many different obstacles to be able to achieve our dream. But in the end, we were actually able to accomplish and flourish. Can you talk about a specific situation in your life where that's occurred?
Well, I was in a relationship for about 3 years, and I went through a very drastic surgery, and I felt something, and I prayed to God, and I was like, okay, God, I need you to reveal yourself to me, because it was that gut feeling, and I was like, okay, I know it's not my gut, it's far beyond that. So I was like, okay, God, reveal yourself to me. And he revealed himself, and I went through a betrayal. So I never spoke to the guy again. I was suffering. I was dwelling while I was on bed rest. They say for heartbreak, it's best to go out, to have fun, to, just just do yourself. But I was supposed to be on bed rest, and I felt like I couldn't see light. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. I felt like I lost my identity. But that's when something inside of me was telling me, you need to surrender it all. You need to surrender it all. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I surrendered it all to God, and I posted something on Instagram. I deleted all of my social media and restarted it. And I just I noticed that I started getting attraction, and I noticed that people were broken and they were on the same boat that I was. And I was like, okay, I'm I'm here and I have to overcome this. So I started talking to God every day, started getting in deep communion with him. And although I didn't see light, he was starting to unravel things a little by little. So maybe you don't see light, but you could trust in God, and he'll start to unravel things a little by little, and you'll start falling in love with the process. And it's great. It's a beautiful process.
That is beautiful. And what I've found is that when we do surrender and let go and trust, I believe that God knows what he's doing, right? So when we do let go and we surrender and we trust, things feel lighter. We don't feel as overwhelmed. We don't feel as drained. We don't feel as frustrated. But when we're busy trying to manipulate and control the situation, we tend to get frustrated, we get overwhelmed, and we just don't feel good about life. So if that's any incentive to step back and trust, I don't know what else is, just to have that feeling of lightness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
How have you been successful with your social media presence? Have you had people actually reach out to you and say, Nayomie, I really appreciate the effort and the consistency that you're putting out online? Because when I stumbled upon your page, I said, you could just see that she has a beautiful heart. She radiates light. And I'm sure that other people also appreciate that. So have you had people just reach out to you and say, you really inspire me and motivate me, and I always look forward to your content?
Yes. It started actually the first time I ever posted. I felt like I was unworthy, and then I started getting, well, they started approaching me, and they're like, okay, your post really inspired me. I'm on my way to church right now. And I was like, whoa. So I feel like I'm very genuine. I'm very raw. I don't mask anything. Everything that I put out there, it's because it's like that. Like last week I posted, I haven't really been posting because I'm stuck with school doing finals, and I feel like people appreciate that. They appreciate when you're true to yourself, when you're genuine, when you're very transparent. Like in the first YouTube video I posted, it was very hard for me to film, and I had to keep re-recording because I would just cry, and I ended off the video, and you could sense the sadness. But in the second video, which I recorded 2 weeks later, you could see that there was growth and that I was stronger, and people see that and they want that, and they just keep on going back to your page, asking for advice and just seeking God, and that's the beauty of it.
Yes, and I believe that there's a delicate balance in the social media world where you do want to project that image of beauty and drawing people in, because that's what we're naturally attracted to, beauty and goodness and light. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're also real and transparent, not so that not everything appears to be 100% okay all the time. And you're right. I think that people do appreciate that realness. Sometimes what I'll do in my post is I may have a pretty image, but then the caption will say something like, oh, and by the way, I know I'm a health and wellness coach, but I did just eat 4 Reese's peanut butter cups. You know, just to let people know that I am not expecting you to eat well 100% of the time. And I'm not someone that does eat 100% healthy. So just being able to connect on that human level. Or I might make a post and say, man, the other day I had the most crappy day. I did not feel like getting online and posting anything positive or motivational. And for people that actually follow my blog content, they'll see that I pop in every now and then and I'll express that realness. Because I feel like in the social media space, we can have a tendency of seeing other people's highlight reel and the beautiful pictures and be like, okay, so what am I not doing right? Not knowing that that person, like you just said a few minutes ago, you were crying in the middle of recording your video, you know, and had you not wanted to put that message out there and let people know what was going on with you, they would have never known that you had a down moment in your life.
Right.
Tell us about how people that want to be more impactful online or that have a specific purpose that they know that they're called to do, but they don't necessarily have a strong support system to help them achieve that goal. What is one recommendation that you can give to these people so that they feel support and they feel encouraged to go for their dreams?
I would say be original, be genuine. You know, you're not always gonna have a support system, but that should encourage you more. That should encourage you to run the race with very high velocity. In fact, I didn't have the support system. My family, they were so against it. They're like, no, you can't be putting yourself out there. And I was like, okay, but look at the outcome. If I reach at least one person, I'm okay with that. So, you know, just be original, be you, run with high velocity. And if you reach one person, you know, you've done it. You're going to reach people at the other side of the door, and you know, you're always going to have your doubters.
Yeah, and that's true. You're always gonna have those people that don't quite understand what you're doing. But what I found is that they have a different race to run. So
Mhm.
it's not really 100% necessary for them to understand your race. what they need to understand is their own race, right?
Right.
And I think that oftentimes, actually, what happens is that people are so focused on our race that they lose sight of their own. And then they're wondering why they are struggling in their own area of fulfillment. So that time that they're spending on why is Nayomie doing this and why is she doing it like that, that's time that they could be spending on developing their own craft. But I do understand that some people, they have our best interest at heart in a different way. So they may see us doing one thing, not understand it, and just not know how to give the level of support that we need. And they may fear because they would fear if it was themselves. So they're projecting that fear onto us and trying to keep us safe. And it's, sometimes out of quote unquote love. They're just trying to protect us. So I always tell people that if you don't have the support of your local family and friends, the people that are closest to you, social media is awesome to connect with people. There's so many groups online these days of so many various interests that there's almost no reason why in the world that you can't connect with at least one person that has a similar mindset and similar hobbies and similar passions. You and I connected online, right?
Yes.
So it's so easy these days to reach out to someone. And if they want to help you and they want to respond, they will. If they don't, well, there's other millions of people on this earth, right?
Yeah.
Give us one encouraging thought right now with something that's going on in your life, a challenge that you might be facing right now, just to let us know that Nayomie is a real human being with challenges.
Okay, well, fear was one of my challenges, and fear is conquered on the battlefield. And I was like, okay, like I was contemplating on doing this interview. I was like, oh, like, maybe, we had trouble connecting. I was like, maybe, I should just hinder. But then I was like, no, fear is conquered on the battlefield. So I was like, okay, I got to get up and I got to face it. So, maybe you're fearful of posting something. Maybe you're fearful of, just posting something encouraging, getting out on YouTube, getting out on social media. But you know what? Fear is conquered on the battlefield. So, sometimes you just have to push yourself because you don't know where you're going to go. You don't know where God's going to take you,
Yes, and by doing this interview, I'm pretty sure that you are going to be able to reach so many women and men across the world that have no idea who you are, but you're going to say something that's going to inspire them into action. And yeah, we had a little bit of trouble connecting, but as you said, it's like if you always allow that one thing to get in the way of your success, and you habitually do that in your life, you're only going to go but so far. There's been times in my own life where I felt like, actually, this was something that I wanted. And now that it's here in front of my face, I'm acting like I don't want it anymore. And that's because human beings, naturally, we have that fear instinct, right? So we have to develop the habit of pressing past that fear. And that's where the breakthrough comes. And I tell myself that all the time in my own life. Even though some things appear to be easy, it appears to be easy because I just did it. And I just did it fearfully, So I think that that's a strong piece of encouragement, just knowing that fear is conquered on the battlefield. I love that. Are there any specific ways that people can get in contact with you and follow your journey through life?
Yes, I have an Instagram and it's Divos by Nay.
And all of this will be in the description, the description box, you guys. You don't have to worry about jotting it down right now. So I will have it spelled out for you so that you can follow her on Instagram. Go ahead.
And on my YouTube, it's Nayomie B.
Okay. So she is on both Instagram and YouTube. And I believe that once you follow her, you will be hooked on following her. And I encourage you to share her message with anyone that you come across that needs a little bit more light in their world. I believe that we have a tendency of thinking that the world is dark and there's no more compassion and empathy and excitement in this world, when in all actuality there is, but maybe it's in places that you hadn't yet discovered. For anyone that is interested in sharing their successes or sharing their challenges or just want to encourage people, reach out to me. All of my contact info is going to be in the description box as well. And if you'd like to join my community of like-minded, purpose-driven women, please feel free to do so on Facebook. My Facebook group is Nutrition, the number 4, Busy Women. And again, that link is in the description box. Join us. I'm always running different contests. We're having a lot of fun encouragement. And I believe that many times the women in that group are inspired into action based off of the other encouragement that they're getting from ladies in the group that you might not always have in your physical space. If you are interested in connecting with us, we would strongly appreciate it. And for me, I will offer you a complimentary gift for doing so, particularly if you're struggling with defining what your life purpose is. I have a career assessment tool that will be able to help you determine what that is, and we'll look at the themes together and solidify an action plan. You guys have an awesome rest of the day. Thank you so much, Nayomie, for taking time out of your schedule. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And wherever you guys are in the world, just remember to continue walking in your God-given purpose and to continue living a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll talk to you soon on our next episode.